Hello, dear students. Let's take a quick look at Transcendentalism. The American Romantic and Transcendental movements of the 19th century were a reaction against the Enlightenment of 18th century, which emphasized on science and rationalism as ways of discovering truth. Transcendentalism is deeply rooted in American history. It is inspired by the Quakers and the Puritans. We can say that it is associated with Romanticism, an artistic movement that valued individuality, emotion, and nature over reason and society. The well-known transcendentalist writers are Emerson, Thoreau, Margaret Fuller, etc. The writers associated with these movements advocated the right of individuals to dissent and to engage in civil disobedience. They also believed that government may not interfere with freedom of expression. That is very important, this freedom of expression. Their writings influenced the civil rights, equal rights, and anti war protest movements of the 1960s and 1970s. They also influenced the thinking of some Supreme Court justices and indirectly judicial interpretation of the First Amendment in America. Among the Romantics were the literary giants Herman Melville and Nathaniel Hawthorne. The Transcendentalists they valued individualism and self-reliance. This Transcendentalism, which lasted from about 1830s to 1860s, was a vital part of the Romantic movement. Ralph Waldo Emerson was the most popular leader of this movement. Henry David Thoreau and Margaret Fuller were among the principals of this movement. This movement, Transcendentalism, is based on the philosophy that you know it's a search for wisdom, not really search, love for wisdom. It's a state of mind, one form of spirituality. It's not about a particular religion. It can be applied to any faith, but it's basically about spirituality based on intuition rather than rationality. It's a means for understanding the connection between yourself and the world and God. Being spiritual. It's not about religion and rituals. Actually, Thoreau and Emerson, they all reject religion as well as rituals. The Transcendentalists believe there is a divine spirit in nature and in every living soul. Through individualism and self-reliance, human beings could reunite with God. A significant part of this Transcendentalist intellectual foundation was Immanuel Kant's concept that all knowledge is concerned with ways of knowing objects, not with objects themselves. That is, all knowledge is transcendental. Emerson's influential essay, Nature, which was published in 1836, explains Transcendentalism's main tenets. The individual is the center of the universe. That is the first and the foremost idea behind this philosophy of Transcendentalism. Individual happiness depends on self-realization, and this individual happiness is of utmost importance. And every individual should be respected, irrespective of caste, creed, or origin or race. And God is within all of us. God is found in nature as well as in human nature. There is a relationship between all things. Nature is symbolic, a living mystery full of signs. Miracles are all around us. You need to observe it. And people should be more concerned with this life than the next. It's something, it's actually, at this point, this philosophy moves away from these Quakers and Puritans because they concentrate on life which is yet to come, about the life on the other world. But here they emphasize and give emphasis to life in this world. And death should not be feared. People should not be afraid to change their minds, change their opinions. They should be self reliant and independent. The logic of society is often wrong. They don't support institutionalized religion, institutionalized government, and so on. In Walden, Thoreau explains how to live the good life and be at one with nature. In a celebrated essay, Civil Disobedience, he talks about the benefits of peaceful resistance. Walt Whitman, another leader of this movement, wrote towards the end of the movement, he advocated that humans, animal nature, and reuniting with God through the natural world and should be accepted by the human beings. His Leaves of Grass, which was published in 1855, and also other poems, celebrate freedom, independence, and the value of non-conformity. That is another important feature of this movement. You are not conforming yourself to the society, non-conformity, that is important. This particular movement influenced many American writers like Edgar Allan Poe, Nathaniel Hawthorne, Herman Melville, Walt Whitman, Emily Dickinson, Thoreau, Emerson, and so on. Not only American writers, but also other writers and other leaders like especially M.K. Gandhi. His concept of this civil disobedience has its origin in this movement, and also it influenced other movements of the 1960s like anti-war movement, Black Power movement, feminism, the hippie movement, and so on. Thank you.